Funny how life plays out sometimes, isn't it? One minute you have your mind set on this. Next thing you know, you're doing something completely different, something you never even saw coming. Take Laura Jensen of Walton County, for instance. In 2013, Laura and her family bought a residential farm as a way to board their horses and do some trail riding. But shortly after, Laura and her daughter were diagnosed with an autoimmune disease. Then came the acquisition of some special pigs rarely seen here in the U.S. All of it playing a part in the creation of Jensen Reserve, a business that saw exponential growth during the early days of COVID when others simply failed. Growing up in Greensboro, North Carolina, Laura Jensen created lasting memories on her grandparents' retirement farm, a place that remains near and dear to her heart, and a place Laura credits for instilling the work ethic she puts forth day in and day out.
So I usually start my day in the butcher shop. It gives me an opportunity to work with the charcuterie cuts that I enjoy producing, make sure that our production schedule is on task and that my crew is set for the day. Usually do that until around lunchtime, 1 o'clock, and then from there I switch over to the business side. I am constantly working on my marketing program and how to reach more people, checking on our products and if I can make any improvements there. So I'm on the business side until about 5 o'clock. Then I do take about a 10-minute break, and from there I'm out on the farm until 7 or 8 or until it's done. During the week, my husband and I feed all the pigs. And then, of course, you know, something's always broken on the farm, so we're working on whatever needs to happen to make sure the pigs have the best life they can.
But these pigs aren't your run-of-the-mill farm pigs. Nope, these are Meishan pigs, native to southern China and a rarity here in the U.S. The way in which Laura acquired them? Well, that's a story in and of itself.
So 5 years ago, we started with pigs. I ended up with those dangerous pigs. I know they're not all that way, but we ended up with them, and I had to find an alternative.
Laura's search led her to this man, Rico Silvera, who at the time was president of the American Meishan Breeders Association, a title now held by Laura. Prior to his retirement, both Silvera and Laura worked tirelessly to save what remained of the limited population of Meishans here in the U.S. That hard work paid off.
Yeah, we've grown to about 65 member breeders. We're about to register our 400th pig, starting from 12. So we're at the point now that I think we're going to see exponential growth. Litter sizes on the Meishan can be 19 and 20 piglets per litter. So now that we've got them in most states, there's still a few we need to add them to in the country. I think that this next year, Meishan's going to become a name that you're going to see not only in pork, but in pigs, the live pig side of it. They're incredibly docile, they're a lot of fun to work with, and then their flavor profile is unique as well. When we started, there was only a few people in the country that had tasted Meishan or knew of it, and everybody consistently told me that there's not much meat there, but what is there is absolutely amazing. So what I thought could happen, and did fortunately, is with the new genetics, we were able to actually produce a Meishan that is comparable to what I had found in the large breed hogs. So I'm able to achieve a 300 to 330 pound hanging weight in a 13-15 month window, which makes them a very viable option.
And having options is something Laura wants every one of her customers to experience when they step inside Jensen Reserve. From prime cuts of beef to poultry, even specialized foods which cater to people like Laura and her daughter, who themselves needed options after both were diagnosed with psoriatic arthritis.
And what that means for us is what we eat dramatically affects our ability to function, because not only does it affect our skin and as far as the psoriasis side of it, but our joints will ache and we'll have major inflammation if we eat poorly. So that was a huge motivating factor for me, because when I would go out to eat or go try to find something to eat, there were hidden ingredients, or it made me feel bad, or something wasn't exactly, what I thought it was. So I essentially took that and created my own products through my store. And fortunately, I think we are on the edge of a new food movement in America. I think there are a lot of us that are tired of what has been happening and what's out there, and we want something clean, new, and fresh, and that's exactly what I do here. So I know that COVID was a very difficult time for a lot of people, and there was a lot of loss, and we lost family and friends as well. But on the business side, it was a game changer for Jensen Reserve and what I do here. Because the grocery stores did not have food, a lot of our neighbors in our community were desperate to find something to eat. And word of mouth traveled fast. So when COVID hit and the stores didn't have anything on their shelf, we ended up growing 800% in a 2-week time. What's happened since then, we did see a slight dip in our sales last summer, kind of when the world went back to normal for that brief period of time. And that's when we found that we could deliver locally through Market Wagon. There's a link on our website for that, and now I can deliver to 19 counties in Georgia, and it's made the difference in keeping us at that level that COVID presented us with.
So, from her beloved Meishan pigs to the increased foot traffic of her store, even Market Wagon, Laura admits she is still somewhat shell-shocked by the incredible growth she's seen in just a short period of time. Which begs the question, what does the future have in store for Laura?
So I am going to step back a little bit from the live pig so that I can support other breeders through my store. I think it's probably more important on a national level to make sure that the Meishan has a pathway to get to the public. So you will see the change in the live pig side, but will I slow down? Absolutely not. I'm here. We're going as far as we can go, and we'll see what's next.
She is driven, that's for sure.